So this week I've been recording myself building at Coastal Cottage even before I knew how I was going to build it, because this video is where I was going to show you that whole process of me figuring things out, right? Well, come to find out, I must have changed the bitrate or something on OBS because all of my footage is complete shit. I mean, look at this. It's really only bad whenever I'm moving. Like if I'm staying still, it's fine, but I mean, look at this. Jesus H. Christ. There's no way I'm going to make you guys watch a 10-minute video that looks like this. I mean, in some parts, it's not that bad, and on the smaller scale, it doesn't look as bad. But still, I don't want to put out something like this, like how bad this quality is. So I'm still going to do a walkthrough like I usually do with these builds and try to break down what I did the best that I can, which is, that's still fun for me to do. I still enjoy making those kind of videos. But I'm a little bit bummed because I wanted to do a more in-depth, oh my, look how bad. Damn it, Pascord, you should have tested this. Now I know that the original plan was to build this whole area as like a big settlement, but as I was building this, it just seemed to work so much better as a hotel. Like someone left me a comment saying that it'd be really cool if this was like a hotel for people, passing by or just travelers. It's not a bad idea because it's right here by the road and it just seems like a good place to do it. Now I don't know if I'm still going to make this a marketplace in here. It might be better as like a bar or something, because normally when you go to a hotel they have like a restaurant on site or close by or whatever, so it might be good for people passing by, they see the hotel and the bar, and it might be more incentive to stop by and get some rest. So that's the idea that I'm going for. Now I didn't want to scrap the walls from the house that was already here. You can see that I built around the lighter blue walls and made sure that those were showing. I wanted it to look like they rebuilt this house trying to preserve the existing one. Like, have you ever seen an old historic home that was turned into a hotel? Like, they renovated the whole thing, made it look really nice, and then charged people out the ass to stay there? That's basically what I'm doing here. That's essentially the lore for this build. They pride themselves on having rebuilt this beautiful, historic, post-war home into a hotel, and they happily charge you a fortune to stay here. By the way, I'm going to put a sign right there between those two pillars. That's why it looks empty. It looks kind of weird right now. I'm not done. In here is the lobby. I'm gonna have the desk like right here in the middle somewhere, maybe. A few of the decorations, and then this room's gonna be like the break room or something. I gotta figure that, or maybe the bathroom. It's probably gonna be the bathroom. I gotta figure out what to do with this grass that's like poking through. I'm hoping the decorations will help fill that in, but we'll see. We'll see, but I'll cover it up. Now up here, technically, we have 3 rooms. We have this one, and this one, and this is actually going to go down into the hole that we have, like the little crater. Now there's so many things that I can do with this. You guys have given me so many ideas already, and it's really hard to decide. I was originally thinking that this will be the player home, but I want to hear what you guys think. So let's do a poll, okay? We could do a player home, a railroad hideout, that was a good one, a hidden bunker, or something else. I don't know. Just let me know in the comments what you think would go best in here. You would think that my favorite part of this build would be the cave, but no, it's the patio. I don't know why. I love patios. I don't know. Shut up! In case anyone asks, I was gonna have a wall all the way around the... What are you doing? How are you sitting in the sky? This is weird. So I was going to have a big wall all the way around the place, but since this is going to be a hotel now, I didn't want to like cover it up because I feel like it wouldn't be as attractive from like the main road, so I still will put some guard posts or something, but like coming down here, looking up, if I put a big wall, it's just going to cover up the hotel and everything, so I'm just going to leave it open and then put a few guard posts or something around there, maybe along those rocks or something. Something is going to look nice. The build really wasn't that difficult as long as you have a good starting point. So I did have to raise the house up a good bit because of all the grass. Man, look at this. All that grass was sticking through the floor just like how it is over here, and it was just horrible. So I had to raise the house, which also meant that I had to bring up all of the existing walls because I wanted to keep them. And these don't snap to anything, so that made it a little challenging because I had to do this all manually. But the starting point was right here. So I used this floor that we get from Snappy House Kit. And the wall and the door over here were sitting on top of this post, so you can tell how much lower that they actually were. And so basically I just lined this floor piece up with that door. It didn't snap in, by the way. That would have been way too easy. So I had to line it up, raise it higher than the grass, or the best that I could, and then make all of the existing walls level with this floor. So that had to be done manually since they don't snap, which is not really hard, it's just tedious. It just takes a little bit. Now if you're on PC and using Place Everywhere, there's a pretty easy way to do this. You can use the numpad on your keyboard to have a little bit more control over all these pieces. So basically just make sure that it's highlighted, and if you hit 8, it raises it up, 2 will bring it down, 4 will scoot it over to the left, and 6 over to the right. 7 will bring it towards you, and 9 will scoot it away from you. And then of course you have 1 and 3 that will change the scaling of it. So 1 makes it smaller, you can see what percentage it's at, and then 3 makes it larger. I never went over that before in a video, but I use it all the time. It's very, very beneficial when trying to get things just right. But yeah, once that first floor is in, you're good. You can just snap in the rest of them. That's pretty simple. All of the walls from Snappy House Kit, they'll just snap right onto it, so that was really easy. The hardest part, honestly, was just making sure that the new walls fit in well with the existing ones, and you really only have to worry about that on this floor. The upstairs would snap in, and you had to do like a minor adjustment. So like with this one, oh, hang on a second. Hang on. Let me get the lighting just right so you guys can see what I'm doing. There we go, much brighter. Okay, so this one would snap in, but it covers up the existing wall, which I don't want to happen. So all you have to do is snap it in and then highlight it and then press 9 on the number pad, and it scoots it out from you or away from you, and then there's the wall. It's like magic. I put this post in there because you see how the two walls, it's like very obvious. There's like a definitive line where the new one ends and the old one begins. So this post will snap in between those two. Maybe. Oh, there it is. And then all you gotta do is just use the same things. I'm gonna hit 8 and scoot it up. And then I'm gonna use 9 to sink it in a little bit. And then there we go. We cover it up. I like that it's sticking out a little bit and it's not exactly flush with the two walls because that would kind of defeat the purpose. So we want it to look like there's that border between them. So yeah, I just pretty much did that same thing all around the house to make sure that the existing walls were sticking through and not being covered up. After that, everything else was pretty simple and just snapped together. Like this elevator in here, I just left a hole, just a normal floor piece hole for it on this floor and the floor above, and then the elevator just snapped in. The roof was a little bit different, so I got these pieces from Snappy House Kit. Actually, I got all these pieces from Snappy House Kit. All the walls and pretty much everything that you see is from Snappy House Kit, so check it out. But yeah, so this roof piece actually snaps in like this. Hang on. Right there. So, because it's snapping to the wall below. And I didn't like that because it's like this side of the house was on the outside of the roof, and I wanted there to be some sort of overhang from the roof. I'm just not realizing that this piece here could have done that. Huh. Oh well. So I snapped in the roof and then I inched it over with the 6 key on the number pad. And once that one's in, all the other ones snapped together pretty seamlessly. Shit. Now for this piece, it's actually a lot smaller. I had to blow this one up a good bit so it fit in right here. I think it's at like 150%. If I hit 3, it would show. Okay, so 160, scale it back down, is 150. So I use Place Everywhere to place it down, and you can see it's slightly off a little bit. It's like turned a little too far to the left. Now, an easy way to fix that, with Place Everywhere, if you hit the comma or the period keys, it actually rotates it, which is a lot easier to get it precise without having to manually do it. But yeah, I pretty much did the same thing on this side and on the back. And the last little bit is this roof over the balcony here, which is also pretty simple. So this piece will snap to the wall back there, and so that keeps it, directly in line with the floor below. So you just place that in, and then all you have to do is use the same thing on the number keypad to adjust it however you want. Now if you lose it like I just did, you can hit F7 and it will lock the object to keep it highlighted, so that way I don't have to have my cursor over it whenever I try to move it. So once I got that in the right spot, I just snapped everything else to it. Alright, the cave really wasn't that bad either. I just used Scrap Anything to scrap as much as I could, all the stuff down in here. And I also used the console command disable to get rid of some of the extra rocks. That's how I have a little bit more room. And for the floor, I just used some barn foundation pieces because I like the way that those look a little bit better. They didn't snap to anything originally, so I just placed down this one and then put in the other ones around it. I was trying to keep the center right here in the middle of the cave. I was trying to keep that a little bit in line to help put the walls in, but it doesn't really matter. I used the cave walls from the mod Grounded to make it look like we're inside of this cave. And for the roofs, I actually used this floor, also from Grounded. I like this one a little bit better because it has that grating in it. You can kind of see it. But it looks like it's holding everything up from, you know, not falling down on my face. So I like to use those floor pieces. And around the elevator, I used these foundations from Grounded. I could probably use the walls, but I don't know why. I like the foundation a little bit better. But you can kind of see where I am. I'm underneath the house. I like scrapped everything all around here. Like where I'm standing is where I think the truck was. So yeah, this is like the start of the path that leads down into the cave. So I scrapped everything around here, and to cover up all this stuff for, you know, when you're coming down the elevator, I just surrounded it by these 3 foundations. But that's pretty much it. Again, I'm sorry that my footage wasn't good enough to use, but hopefully I covered enough for the build portion of this. The next video will be the final tour with all the decorations, and I plan on recording the decoration process as well. So here's hoping it doesn't look like shit.